Welcome to Protect Your Assets Market Briefing. I'm your host, David Hollander, also known as the Sandman. Now let's get started. Well, the weekly tariffs news came back again. Tariffs have been paused for about 90 days, but there were some deals had, and as a result, the Dow was down this week, about off 1%. S&P was off too, almost 0.3%. NASDAQ barely down 0.1%. International index was up again as a result. Year to date, we're up 17.9%. That's a big move. The 10-year Treasury, pretty flat, holding in at 4.42%. Oil had a nice week, closing at $68.69 a barrel, up 2.5%, again, with all the uncertainty brewing this past week. So with tariffs back in play, the Fed may wait a bit longer to lower rates, because remember, right now the Fed rate is around 4.3%. Inflation, again, according to them, is hovering around 2.3%. If things start to get more expensive as a result of tariffs, this could cause the Fed to wait a little longer to lower rates. So as tariffs continue to firm up over the next 90 days or so, again, you never know what's going to happen, I would recommend using the volatility as an opportunity to look at your portfolio and make sure that it's balanced according to what you're trying to do. You may want to use some pullbacks to rebalance with what's important to you. So right now you might want to start looking at that area and starting to judge it appropriately and move it around as you need to do so you have income in your retirement. You also should be taking a look right now at alternatives like fixed indexed annuities and their competitive cash flows that are out there right now, depending on when you need income. And remember, those income streams are backed by the claims paying ability of those insurance companies. And it is time once again for our crypto monthly update. This is where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto and what's been going on around the world. So some milestones. Bitcoin stayed above 100,000 for 30 consecutive days. This is the first time ever that's happened. When we look at U.S. state adoption, U.S. state officials proposed and advanced or passed legislation to add Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. These states included Arizona, Ohio, and Texas. And when you look at the industry advances that occurred over the last 30 days, financial advisor Rick Edelman recommended investor allocate between 10 and 40% of their portfolios to crypto. SoFi will relaunch spot trading for BTC and Ether later this year. The FTSE Russell, Eurex, and CBOE launched nano and reduced value crypto futures. These are more cost effective for Bitcoin and Ethereum. A Coinbase survey reported that blockchain initiatives have been adopted by 60% of Fortune 500 companies, and more than 80% of institutional investors surveyed plan to increase their exposure to crypto this year. How about some noteworthy ETF news in the space? JP Morgan plans to accept crypto ETF shares as collateral for loans and include crypto holdings in clients' net worth assessments. Notable IPO activity going on right now. Stablecoin issuer Circle went public on the New York Stock Exchange. Had a nice move there. Crypto exchange OKX is considering a U.S. IPO right now. Crypto prime brokerage FalconX is also pondering an IPO. Stablecoin interest. Numerous companies are exploring the use of their own stablecoins or allowing stablecoins as payment options, including the likes of Amazon, Apple, Airbnb, X, Shopify, Uber, Walmart, JP Morgan, DTCC, Societe Generale, Deutsche Bank, SoFi, Stripe, Fiserv, Revolut, and Shopify. Also in the U.S., some regulatory moves. The U.S. Senate advanced the Genius Act. This is the country's first stablecoin regulatory framework, which heads to the House. And the U.S. Federal Housing Finance Agency issued an order to count Bitcoin and crypto as an asset for a mortgage application, also directing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to consider the cryptocurrency assets of borrowers for the purposes of collateral on single home mortgage loans. So quite a bit going on in that space. That's your update for the month.
You can hear the Protect Your Assets market briefing on your favorite podcast app or as an Alexa flash briefing. Just search for Protect Your Assets market briefing. Links to subscribe free wherever you listen are at libertygroupllc.com/PYA briefing. The following program is paid for by Liberty Group, and the views and opinions of the host do not represent those of the station or its ownership. Investment advisory services are offered through Liberty Wealth Management, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Legal information provided on the air is not intended to be a substitute for callers hiring their own lawyers to advise them about personal legal matters. The information provided is general financial comment and cannot be relied upon for your specific financial situation. Investing involves risks, including the risk of loss of your investment. Please consult with a financial professional before investing. California Life Agent number 0B48569. You're listening to the Protect Your Assets Radio Network.